Set.
4 times 20 from the low lunge position, 2 on each side. Switching the feet on the lunge. It's more like you just stay low and just float the feet basically. Why the varied start positions? To introduce some variety, but also it goes along well with the theme of the day. So we're working on acceleration here, specifically focusing on the first couple steps. So incorporating a medicine ball not only overloads the physical components of what we're looking for in the start, but it also provides feedback using an external object that forces them to do it right. And then we're switching to some low lunge start positions that are starting to introduce those lower positions in a maybe more friendly way than say a 3-point or 4-point start would. And then ramping that up this week and adding a dynamic start or switched leg start. So they start in that low lunge position, quickly switch legs, and then push out of it. So we're slowly working our way into unresisted 3-4 point starts, a little higher specificity, a little closer to what they'd see in the actual competition, but still keeping the focus on those first couple steps. Bench press 2x7, 3x5 at 80-ish%. Then we got some single leg RDLs, 2 sets of 8 each leg, little skip jog pull down.
Dev made a comment that the weights have gone up really fast. Matt keeps joking about progressive overload. What's going on here?
So they are going up for sure. I think one of the big things that you always want to look for in a training plan is that you are seeing overload, meaning that we're moving up in some fashion, whether it's the rep count or reducing the rest or increasing the weight or doing something faster or doing your reps longer or whatever it is. So we're seeing overload all over the place now. We're doing relatively constant volumes on our heavy hitter, speed, strength, power type stuff, but increasing the intensity, and we're seeing increased volume in our lower intensity work. So we're hitting on several different things here. I really don't think that volume is a bugaboo. A lot of people talk about looking for minimum dose response and that kind of thing. When it comes to training for sports like track and field, where you got to eke out every little bit of gains that you can, I think training to the point of diminishing returns is a bogus concept. We are looking not for finding where that fine line of diminishing returns is, but we want to find out where we stop getting any gains at all and then move on to a different training stimulus or change the volume or load. When you're dealing with team sports where you got to juggle a handful of other things, then minimum dose response becomes more important. Or when you're in season and you're trying to manage fatigue, then it becomes important. But when you're trying to get somebody to the highest level of sport, in a sport that is defined by no names being 1 or 2% less than gold medalists and legends, then you can't hold back in terms of training volumes. The key there is progressing and making sure that there's a progression rather than just dumping volume all of a sudden. And I think we're doing that. We're trickle feeding from day one. We were at 4 days a week for a little while. Now we're at 5 days a week and then 6 days a week, and every day is getting a little bit bigger and more intense. Once we've gotten it to the level that I want to see, then we'll start to back off and see a little divergence in the type of training that we do on each day. So there's getting a little bit less, a little bit more modulation and undulation, oscillation of the different training stimuli. We'll probably do another week of training.
And then the next week we'll test.
I'm not gonna just max out every day.
I mean, we're rep maxing at the moment.
Squat every day.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey guys, if you like the content, subscribe. If you're interested in the track and field group, see the description below.